Hey guys, where have you been? It's about 95 degrees today. Let's go put in a 350,000 BTU furnace. I'm here working on a swimming pool. It has a heat pump. You can tell this wall used to be right here. It was very tight to get back in there and work on, but basically this heat pump probably is about 50,000 BTU, I think is what this part number said. And we're trying to heat a 20 by 40 pool with no cover on it. That automatic cover no longer works. People just bought this house. Actually one of my existing clients, or I wouldn't even be up here messing with it. So he wants it to be a lot warmer. So what he's done, I told him to tear that wall down, build him a wood fence, but he said we shook it and it was pretty loose. You could see it used to have some ties on it, and they had rotted off. So it was actually a kind of a hazard. Could have turned over on somebody. But he was talking about trying to scoot it over, and I said, well, if you do that, probably pour you a pad here first so you have something to slide it on. And sure enough, he was able to do that. He stuck him a piece of angle up in the corner there to keep it from falling over. Of course, if it comes this way, it would hit that hose deb or that corner there and stop. So I guess as long as that will hold it up, we won't have to worry about it falling over on the pool heater. I ran the gas line the day before the 4th of July. It's a PE, polyethylene gas line that's buried. It goes all the way around the fence. The gas meter's over there in that corner. So we've got that ran around here. It's actually 1.25 inch gas line, and then pushed it down to 1 inch as we came through the wall here. The heater actually has a 3/4 inch gas valve. And here is the little heater. These things are a lot nicer than they were when I was in the pool business back in the 90s. I always said pool heaters was the cheapest thing they could possibly build. And just like that, the old heat pump is out. Like I said, I took out all the bypass piping altogether, flex. So what we're left with is our new pool heater, and the line coming from the filter and going back to the pool, as well as this slide supply line. This filter actually leaks here at this multi-port valve. You can see where somebody's put epoxy putty around it. The owner just stopped by and he said if we had a filter, we'd go ahead and put it in. So he may get him a pool filter. I told him to get one that has the side mount valve. That way you can still open the top up and check for the sand, make sure it's all right without cutting all the plumbing loose or taking all them unions loose. So also need to turn that pump around. The pool company put a new one in here at the beginning of the year. You can see where they glued her up there tight, but you can't even get it apart. You can't take the end off the motor. You couldn't pull the motor out if you needed to change the pump seal. So that pump really needs to be turned 90 degrees. And put the filter back in that corner and give them a little storage over here. But I'm going to get started. I think I'm going to do the gas line first, because that's the least forgiving, and then I can work with the PVC over here. Well, because I'm old and it's hot, I put a little tent up. This metal pool heater has been sitting here on the deck. You can hardly touch the thing. I got her opened up here. Of course, as you can see, there's your gas valve. That's where I was saying it was 3/4 coming out there. Goes into the burner tray just like a normal home furnace. The difference being, I guess that's the igniter back there. The difference being, you can see your inducer fan is actually sucking air in out of the cabinet here and blowing it down into the beginning of the exchanger. And then there's the hot spot, comes out the top there. If you're putting this heater inside, they make a hood kit to go on it to extend it on through the roof. There's your typical pressure switch. Should be a water pressure switch, or yeah, somewhere back that way, telling it that it's got flow. Most of these small heaters just use an actual switch it makes on pressure. Some of the larger pool heaters I used to deal with, say, you know, 1 million or 1.5 million BTUs, they would actually put a flow switch on them. On them ITT, a big flow switch in the line, which would actually have a paddle on it that would actually move when water was pushing it. The other thing I noticed, it came with 3 of these plates. This one says 0 to 2,000 feet for 350,000 BTU heater. You had one from 2,000 to 4,000, and then one from 4,000 and up, 4,000 to 10,000, I think it said. And all it did, it just got smaller and smaller on the opening there. So I'm going to get started. Gas line comes out over here. I'll get started getting this thing plumbed in, get me a union and a drip leg on it here. Oh, one more thing I wanted to notice. See these little jumpers? It's actually plugs. That changes it from 120 volts or 240 volts. They don't trust a swimming pool guy to make the change on the transformer like they would us. So what they do to make sure it don't come on without you being down here is they leave the transformer unplugged from the board until such a time as you can get down here and put in whichever plug for whichever voltage. I thought that was pretty cool. They made it easy on me. I was getting ready to move the power from this side. You could feel the wires coming across here. I was going to move them from the junction box on this side. You can see you've got a place for your high voltage, a warning that it's factory for 240, and you also have a terminal block for a remote. So when I saw that, I said, shoot, I'm going to have to take out the whole terminal block and move it. But they've got it on both sides. So I'll just button this side back up. Okay, we got the gas line plumbed in, and we're starting on the PVC here. I'll get a picture of it as soon as we're done. Okay guys, she's up and running. Pretty loud, of course. Anytime you have a burner, it's burning 350,000 BTUs, it's going to be loud. I went out and clocked it at the gas meter. I'll show you that. Watch that baby go. Of course, that's the quarter cubic foot scale, and there's the 1 cubic foot scale. I just clocked it using the iManifold app, and it was 353,000 BTU, so it's pretty close. You can't clock these things perfect because those little meters get little hitches in them from time to time. That's what's making all the noise. Okay, here is the reason I don't need the bypass plumbing that I cut out. The inlet goes in here. Most of it, or some of it, goes through the heat exchanger, but a large portion of it can bypass the heat exchanger and come right back out. It's got a spring-loaded regulation valve here that actually allows it to bypass water, so you don't need an actual manual bypass external of the heater. In fact, it's probably a bad idea because someone can set the valves wrong and not put enough water through the heat exchanger. Leaky filter. I talked to the owner. We're probably going to get a new filter and set it right back here. So I just ran that power across there and strapped it down one time just to keep anybody from tripping on it and crawl back in there. We'll clean all that up and we'll change it, put that new filter in. I need to clean this up, and we'll go ahead and paint this gas line. And got it bonded over here. All this pull equipment is supposed to be bonded together. It's got off. It's got a position for spa in case you had a pool and a spa combination. It actually, the only difference is the temperature sensor, or the setting that you have it on. So if you put it on the spa, you could say have 104 degrees, and if you put it on pool, you could have, I got it set on 90 right now. And there's ways to hook remotes to that. A lot of times people have a pool spa combination and only uses one set of equipment, and when they push a button on a remote, it changes the valves and starts heating up just the spa, and that's why you have the 2 temperature settings. So it's a pretty good setup. Okay, final product. It's running right now. Maybe the camera will pick it up. If you're standing outside, it's really no different than the pump running. I've got to come back. I don't have anything to secure this to the wall. I'm going to put a piece of unistrut down here and strap that down good and tight. And when I come back, I'm going to go ahead and check the gas pressure and everything. Like I said, I clocked the meter and it's the right BTU, so I'm sure it's probably set correct from the factory, but I'll check it anyway. I'll probably come tomorrow and do that. But it's 90 degrees out here, and I got some no cool calls to do. Okay, next day, as promised, got that strapped to the wall with some unistrut. Waiting for this thing to come on so we can test the gas pressure. I'm testing it on the manifold side right now. They want 1.8 to 2.0. 1.83, so that's more than 1.8. I'm gonna check the inlet side just to make sure how much we're getting over here. About 7.5, so we're all within spec. Okay, so that's it. It's a fun little break from normal HVAC stuff. Thanks for watching.